everyone! So today I'll be doing random facts about me, and there are like people doing 25 random facts, 50 random facts. I have decided to go for 28 because that's my favorite number. So without further ado, here we go. I have a serious case of RBF. If you don't know what RBF is, basically it's an acronym for resting bitch face, and I have a terrible case of it. Like, if you see me just sitting around and not doing anything, like stoning, I'll basically be giving you like a super bitchy face, but that's not me, I think, I hope. So I don't know what it is with this face. Some people call it like the festival face, like for the events people, but basically I just look very strict and very stern, and I look like shit. So that's my RBF. I am slightly claustrophobic. I always feel the need to stretch out my legs. Not that my legs are really that long as well, but my legs are longer than my torso. So I don't know, I just feel very uncomfortable when my legs are like constricted or something. Whenever I take a flight, I will always request for the aisle seat. And if there's no aisle seat, I'll very reluctantly take the window seat and then like appease myself by saying that, oh, I can see the scenery outside. But what I cannot do is to sit in between two people, and that's like a no-go for me. I'll feel very uncomfortable like the whole flight. I am also selectively OCD. If you know me well, like generally people think that I'm super OCD, but if you know me well enough, I'm actually not that OCD about certain things. Like, you should look at the state of my room right now. It's like in a freaking mess. Like, I can live with it, but somehow when it comes to work, like, I need things in order, and not even everything to be in order. Like, if things need to be filed properly, I would expect it to be filed properly, but like some of the things are just like, doesn't really matter. Like, I don't really care about the aesthetics that much actually. Like, if you're gonna print something out, then obviously it has to be aligned, but if it's just gonna lay like stuff around, then I'm fine with most things, I think. I'm very good at packing many things into one small tiny space, aka your luggage. Like, I don't know how I managed to do it or how I honed this skill of mine, but I can fit a lot of things into one small space. Like, some of the things I'll roll up and then I'll stuff it into the nooks and crannies of like different things just so that it can fit into my luggage. However, the only issue and problem with that is that no matter how much I can stuff into my luggage, usually there is a baggage limit. So I will still hit the baggage limit, and I don't see a point in stuffing so many things into like my luggage when it's still going to exceed the limit. So that's a problem. When I was little, my right leg got stuck in a bicycle wheel while it was going down the slope. Don't ask me how that happened or what happened after that. Like, I didn't visit the hospital, but my leg was literally stuck in the wheel, like in the crisscrossy things in your tire. I don't know what you call that, but yeah, it wasn't really that painful, come to think of it. It's just like my leg ran into the wheel while the bicycle was going down the slope, and all I could think of was like, I don't know what my leg is doing. It's like going in circles. And then there was like really weird noises coming up from the bicycle, and I was like, oh, stop. Like, I was pillion riding, so I have a phobia with pillion riding right after that. So I like riding my bicycles alone. I don't like ferrying anyone, and I don't like being ferried. So that's it. I don't usually dream. Like, I generally just don't dream a lot, and if I do dream, I actually can remember them very vividly, like maybe 24 hours after the dream was being made. So I really need to keep like a dream journal, I think, because I don't really dream that often, and like, I think most of my dreams are quite repetitive. Like, I have dreams of me being eaten by crocodiles. Like, I have to jump across a bank, and The entire water bank was filled with crocodiles. I really have no idea. If you have any idea what your dreams actually mean, can someone please tell me what does this dream actually mean? Because does it mean that I'll be eaten by a crocodile sometime soon? I don't know. I suck at updating my tech software. Like, I take a really long time to do it, or I just can't be bothered with doing it because like I don't want to go through the hassle of doing it. My first ever legit job and paying job was at Candy Empire. Surprise! I think it was like 19 when I just got out of JC and I just wanted to try something out. And it was the first and only job that I ever got fired from. Like, out of the most ridiculous things ever, they fired me because someone told me that this particular candy was going to be restocked in 2 weeks, but actually it's 1 week, and then the boss was not happy, so he fired me. This is like ridiculous. I don't understand. But well, I'm in a much better place right now. So I always get extremely nervous and anxious before a major exam or test. From swimming exams to like music exams and like whatever sort of exam. Recently I just took a finance exam and the same thing happened. Like, I need to visit the toilet before I actually sit for the paper. I don't know what it is about me being anxious and having to go to the toilet to take a crap before I sit for the paper. It's like this weird mentality that's going on in my head. I like my nails short. I think it's cause I have been playing piano since young and it's not very advisable, or it's just not comfortable playing the piano when you have very long nails. Like, I would consider this as being long already. Yeah, I probably have to cut after this. Like, if you can hear when I type my laptop and like you can hear the clacking of my nails on the laptop, like I get very irritated. Like I feel like I have to cut my nails. So yeah, I like my nails short. And I've never ever done like acrylic or gel nails before just because I like them short. Speaking of nails, I also have ingrown toenails, and yes, it sounds very disgusting, and it's as disgusting as it sounds. Like, it's very painful. For those who have ingrown toenails, I feel your pain. Like, after a while, you just get used to the pain. Like, you have to literally take the nail cutter and just dig in through your toenail and then like click it, and then sometimes it goes over short, and then like you have to try doing it again. It's just really painful, but it's kind of like a you have to live with it kind of thing, so I got used to it. My Chinese name is actually Blue Heart. Like, literally, if you're going to translate it, it's Blue Heart. And I don't really know if many people know about that, but they like to like when I was in primary school, they like to make fun of me and like, oh, her name sounds like this actor from MediaCorp. Go figure. I've always been very independent and I like doing most things myself, up to the point whereby like I feel like some people might think that it's weird that I like being alone all the time. Like, I have no qualms with eating alone in a restaurant. I have no qualms with watching a movie alone, and I have no qualms with like traveling alone. Like last November or December, I just took a flight out on my own to like London and Paris, and yes, I was staying with a friend, but most of the time in the day we're just kind of like doing our own thing alone, and then probably meeting up at night at like 10 PM or 11 PM for a meal. Yeah, I don't know why Parisians like eat dinner so late. We have meals at 10 PM and 11 PM, and I was like starving the whole freaking day. Like, I don't really have a lot of time to eat lunch because like I was trying to, you know, see as many things as possible, so I was like, I was just really hungry until like dinner time. I tend to process the things that I want to say in my head before I actually say it out loud. So it may seem that I'm actually like what do you call it in Chinese, like 慢三拍, but it's not. Like I will stare and then I'll think, and then there's like this process of processing the information in my head and what I want to say before I actually blurt it out. So it just comes out really slowly, like, and then everyone will just stare at me like, she's kind of weird, like she just takes so long to reply to something. So, but that's my thought process behind it. It's not that I'm slow, it's because I'm actually thinking of what I want to say, okay? I think I'm actually born left-handed, but I trained myself to be right-handed. Like, I can write with my left hand on the whiteboard, like vertically, and it doesn't look nice, but it's still legible. But I kind of trained myself to be right-handed. Yeah, I am quite a visual person. Like when it comes to studying, like I tend to read and look at something better than listening to what the lecturer is saying. So most of the time when I sit in the class, I'm listening, like maybe 10% or 15% of it goes into my head, but the rest of the time it's studying. And the same goes for faces and names. Like, I'm very bad at remembering faces and names. I'm not sure if it's because of the nature of what I do. Like, I do events, so I kind of meet people like every single day, or I meet people with every single project, like new people. And yeah, there's just like a lot of names and a lot of faces. I'm just extra bad at remembering their names and faces. However, if I were to stalk someone on Instagram and like I see the photo like many times, I actually can remember the person's face. Like if like a person walks on the street, I can like, oh, that person is this particular, like I'll go by their Instagram handle, like, oh, this person is this, oh, this person is this. But when it comes to like meeting people like on a first time basis, I generally can't remember their names. So that's the thing about me. Like, you probably have to like print your photographs and like lay it out for me, and after 5 days or 6 days of staring at it every day, I'll probably remember how you look like, and I'll probably remember your name. I have been a Westie all my life. Westies for life! Like, I always get lost in the East. I don't know why. There's some sort of thing with me in the East, like it just doesn't, you know, bunch together. So yeah, I'm probably gonna stay a Westie all my life. Unless I move to the Central. So it's either Central or Westie. I have owned quite a few pets, but not cats, not dogs, not anything of those sort, because my mom is afraid of them. So I've owned terrapins, I've owned hamsters, I've even owned chicks. Like, they can't stop chirping. And then there was once like this myna flew into our kitchen window, and I think it's cause it injured its leg, and you kind of like nursed it until it was well. And then one day when I came back from school, it was gone. So I guess it got better. I am a planner at heart, and when I say that, it means that I like planning things, and I like seeing things go as planned. So there are times where my friends kind of get very irritated with me because like whenever we go out, I'll kind of like ask everyone like, who's going to this, what time are we reaching there, what time everyone's gonna be reaching there, what time are we leaving this place, where are we going to next, what are we doing this, blah 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 blah. And it just like gets on everyone's nerves, especially the guys. Like, the guys, you know, like, they can't be bothered about this shit. So yeah, I've toned down. I would like to think that I've already toned down quite a bit over the years. Like, it's either because I got too busy, or just can't really be bothered about it that much anymore. And don't get me wrong, like I like spontaneity. Like, it's actually quite easy to ask me out, like if you ask me out after midnight, because I'm quite a supper person, and I'm quite a night owl. I'll get to that later. So yeah, but if you're gonna ask me out, I don't know, like, I like spontaneity as well, and it doesn't freak me out a lot, but I'm just a planner at heart. I like planning things, like, and I like seeing things go as planned. I feel safer and in a calmer place when I know that I've planned for something, you know? It's like how when you're studying, like, you feel anxious when you don't study for an exam. This is exactly how I feel. I may or may not have a slight FOMO problem, By FOMO, I mean the fear of missing out. Like, I'm not sure if it's gotten better, but I just don't like knowing that there's something going on with my friends and that I'm not there. Does that happen to you guys as well? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like if I can make it, I will make it. And even if it tires me out the next day, I will still try and make it for it, which just means that I'm a good friend, right? But it's quite a problem if like I just tire myself throughout because I'm just scared of missing out. Like, I find it hard to say no to gatherings, especially like gatherings in big groups. But to be fair, work comes first most of the time, and recently it's just been work and work and work, and if people ask me out, I'll try and make it, and I'm not gonna say no because like I feel like I need some sort of social life as well. It can't just be work, work, work and no play, right? So we always need to try and find and maintain a balance between life and work because that's very important. I wear my watch on my left hand. I have never smoked a cigarette in my entire life. Like, some people find it quite a feat to be able to do that, but I've never really wanted to take a puff or anything. Like, I know my friends will be like, do you try this? But I don't know, like I just don't want to ever take a smoke. It's not that I have a problem with smokers, but I used to be really against it. I cannot deal with smoking, but subsequently when we all grow up and when we got into JC and then people start smoking, and I can't help it that my friends are smoking, and it's their choice, it's not mine, and I just have to deal with it. Like, I became okay with people around me smoking. This is going to sound really bad for a foodie, but I only started eating steak like the start of last year, as well as raw sashimi. Like, prior to last year, I have never ever eaten like a steak in my life, and oh my goodness, what have I been missing out on, man? I think it's cause I grew up not eating steak. It's like a religious thing in my family. Like, we are Buddhists. We are not really very staunch Buddhists. Like, we don't go to the temple and pray all the time, but we do burn incense at home. And yeah, my mom doesn't eat beef, and my grandparents don't eat beef, and generally my family, except my dad, don't eat beef. So I didn't grow up eating beef, and it's kind of like a foreign thing to me. Like, the taste of it is foreign. So yeah, like, you know how you have not tried something and you taste something and it just doesn't suit your liking. So I've never eaten beef growing up. Only like the previous years I've started eating minced beef, like whenever it's in lasagna or bolognese, only because there are all these rich flavors like cheese and tomato and like herbs to like mask the smell of the beef. So I was able to take it, but I only started eating steak proper like the start of last year, as well as sashimi. I think sashimi and sushi in general is cause of a phobia when I was young. Like, I went to like this sushi restaurant and I had sushi and I puked everything out. So ever since then, I've never taken a liking to raw food until the start of last year. If I were to order mixed rice at a mixed rice store, I would probably order steamed egg, some sort of chicken or pork, hopefully with sauce, and potato slices with the sauce, the brown gravy, and then I'll drizzle like curry over it. If I were to choose one more dish, it will either be a meat or like some sort of vegetable like cabbage or like easier to chew kind of vegetables. Yeah, I always order the same thing. It's not even a surprise anymore. I've always wanted a set of identical twins, like ever since I took bio in secondary school. I don't know what's the thing about. I just find it very fascinating, and I've always wanted a set of identical twins. Like, I may have a very good chance of having a pair because my granddad has an identical twin himself. He's an identical twin. So I heard that genetically it passed down one generation. Like, it skips one generation and passes on to the other. So fingers crossed, I actually get a pair of identical twins, and hopefully they are girls because I prefer girls. I was one of those kids whereby I was placed in every single possible lesson there is when I was young. So I think at the age of 3 or 3.5, I started taking art classes, I started taking piano lessons, I started taking swimming, I started learning swimming. I was put for English speech and drama classes. In primary school, I did Chinese speech and drama classes because I got conned into it, and then like they wanted me to do some Chinese storytelling where there's like 5 people and then the person in the middle is like tallest, and then it just gradients like that. If you can remember what am I talking about. And what else did I take? I took abacus. The only thing I didn't take was ballet, which I really wanted to take, but it's just like too many things. I was learning too many things, and I don't know whether I was quite glad I didn't take ballet or not. I don't know, like I feel like I wouldn't have gone through the whole series of ballet classes anyway. So yeah, I was actually quite glad that my mom put me through all these. Like, I wouldn't say the same for anyone else because I actually took all these skills and put them into some sort of use. Like, if you know me or if you're my friend, you know that I like to learn every single thing under the sun. Like, yeah, you can never really stop learning, and I'm the kind of person whereby I like learning things and I'm inquisitive about a lot of things. So yeah, I'm quite glad that I have all these skills right now. I'm generally an optimistic person. Like, I always think optimistically. I'm not so much of a pessimist, as I'm very optimistic when it comes to other people's problems. Like, when people tell me things, I'll be like super zen and super like optimistic about it, and like, hey, you know, everything's gonna work out fine. But on top of all of that, I think I'm a realist more so than an optimist. Like, a lot of my thought processes are very realistic. Like, if you have no money, you can't start a business. Like, I don't know what else. Like, it's just very realistic things. Like, if you want to do this, you need this. If you want to do that, you need that. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm just very realistic like that, and it helps, I would suppose. I am a night owl, and when I say I'm a night owl, it means that I generally have been sleeping at about 5 to 6 a.m. As of late, or as of the past few years. And it's not a very good habit, but I can't help it. Like, I feel more productive at night because it's just quieter. And then when I wake up at about 1 p.m, like, everyone is out of the house and it's quiet again. I like being alone, and I like having the whole house quiet and to myself. Like, I feel like I need a home of my own, but property is just too expensive in Singapore, like, you know. So yeah, I think this started out because I did art when I was in secondary school, and I was in the art elective program, and it dragged on till like when I was in JC. I was still doing art elective, so I liked spending the nights drawing and painting, and then like ranting to my art friends. All art people are like night owls, I swear, like majority of us. So we're just like, oh my god, it's like 5 a.m, I'm not done with rendering my nonsense. Like, I'm not done with this, I'm not done with that, just use watercolor and just use pen. You know, like, we're just trying to get it out as fast as possible because like there's just no more time to do all our stuff. So I think it started from there. We even created like a group called the Nocs, like NOCS, because we're just nocturnal. So yeah, that was like secondary school days. So that's 28 facts about myself. I hope you learned something more about me. Hoping that this video allows you to get to know me a little better. And if you have a little fact about yourself, I would like to know, so please comment in the comment section down below, and then we can make friends from there. And I hope you like this video. If you like this video, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!